Hello potatoes. So yeah, this is something new on the channel. This will be the very first time I show my face here on Hyper Potatoes, and as you guys can guess, I'm Potato XY. So yes, I finally had time to do another video, which is Hyper Potato number 3. So yeah, the past few weeks has been really hectic for me. A lot has happened, and so I couldn't make a lot of videos. So yeah, I'm compromising it with doing something more, and I hope I can continue making videos regularly starting from this week. Yeah. So yeah, in Hyper Potato 3, the past few weeks there are a lot of Buddyfight informations, big updates on Buddyfight, which I have missed. We'll talk about them today in Hyper Potato number 3. So yes, there are 3 big things that happened. The first one is the irregular list. Buddyfight is finally having an irregular list, or most of the people know it as the ban list. Like a lot of other card games call it ban list, and we'll talk about them later. And the second big update is Buddyfight is also finally having some rule changes, which we'll also talk about later. And the third big update is the first to the 4th season of Buddyfight anime has finally ended, and they will start a new Buddyfight series, which is called Shin Future Card Buddyfight in the Japanese, or in the English version we call it Future Card Buddyfight Ace, with a new protagonist, and I guess it will be a lot of fun. But for Buddyfight Ace, we'll do another video specifically dedicated to that, which will discuss about the anime and the card game, the cards that have been revealed for the start decks and the new booster set. So yeah, in this video we only talk about the first 2 big updates. First the irregular list, and the second one is the rule updates. Okay, so first let's talk about the irregular list. So what is exactly the irregular list? The irregular list is a list of cards which which strength exceeded expectations. So yeah, some cards have become really strong and far exceed expectations from the Buddyfight maker, the developer. So they really need to make this ban list and makes the tournament environment more healthy and fun to play with. So yeah, there are 2 kinds of limitation in the irregular list. The first one is off limits, which means you cannot use any number of this card under any flags. And the second type of limiters is called the X limit, or I'll call it number limit, which means that if it says 1 limit, it means you can only use 1 copy of that card under that flag. Okay, so like I said just now, so the irregular also applies to flags. I mean, like, there are some cards that can be used in other flag but cannot be used in a certain flags. So we'll just talk about them now. Okay, the first one I'll talk about is the cards that these limiters apply to all world out there. There are 3 cards which was hit by this irregular list. The first one is Professor Manjo. The second one, Professor Manjo is off limit, which means you cannot play any number of him. And then the second one that goes off limit is Chaos Death Talika. And there's also 1 card that is 1 limit, which is Gambit. So you can play 1 Gambit under any flag, only 1 copy, and you cannot play Professor Manjo and Chaos Death Talika under any flags. Okay, so let's talk about them first. Okay, first we'll talk about Professor Manjo. I think you guys already know why this card is off limit. Yes, because this card creates a lot of loop potential in the game. The first time we saw is when it is played in Hero World alongside the Impact Monster Professor Manjo, which creates an infinite loop, infinite turn, so it's your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn until the opponent loses. And because it's a dual Legend World and Hero World card, some people also find the way to do the loop with an old generic card called the World. So yeah, it also uses the looping skills from this Professor Manjo, because you can just put 12 or more cards from the drop zone into the deck, and then you can search for one card and then just play the loop until you win. This card is a very loop potential card, so I guess that's why he is banned. Okay, going on to the next Chaos Death Talika. Chaos Death Talika is also a strong card, but not a very strong card, but I do believe he also has a looping potential. I'm not sure, right now he's not really that good, but I think they're making preparation for something awesome happening in the next season maybe, so that's why Chaos Death Talika is also off limit. And then the next card is Gambit. So for you who didn't know, Gambit has been nerfed twice. So the first time, Gambit skill is return all of your monsters from the field to your hand. Yes, that's the very first time Gambit was released. That's the only skill. So the combo most often abused is, if I remember correctly, it was during the Super Heroine meta. So you call Razor Field and then you bounce back all of them to hand. You call Razor Field again to draw a lot of cards. Then Gambit was nerfed. They had some text added into it. You may only cast Gambit once per turn, but it still makes the deck really strong. Professor Manjo deck, Toilet deck, they're still really strong. So yeah, they give Gambit a 1 limit right now, so you can only play one copy of Gambit in your deck. Okay, that's all under all flags irregular list. We're moving on to the strongest meta deck right now. I think you guys already know, it's the Chaos. So there are some cards that is off limit and 1 limit, which is specific only to the Chaos flag. So you can play these cards under any other flag, but under Chaos flag they got restricted. So the very first one is Ladis the Chaos. The Chaos is off limit because I do believe this card is too strong for Chaos, because it has no limitation, once per turn limitation, so you can just negate your opponent's spell numerous times in one turn. And as you know, Chaos setup ability is really strong, so having Ladis the Chaos on the field is an easy OTK setup for Chaos, which causes it to be restricted. Okay, moving on, there are 4 more cards in Chaos that gets 1 limit. The first one is Launch the Auto DT and Genome Upgrader Geargut version 1000. So these 2 cards makes the Chaos a really strong and consistent deck. So you guys can see that Geargut 1000 skills, you can use its overkill skill to set up your field with the Auto DT army, Auto DT army bots, and then you set the sword, and then anything that happened afterwards is really bad. I don't want to talk about it, it's really strong. It's just so crazy. Just by having 1 Geargut 1000. Or if you didn't have any Geargut 1000, you can just search it with Launch the Auto DT. So yeah, these 2 cards is nerfed to 1 in Chaos deck to make the deck, I think, less competitive. Yeah, that's the right word. Because Chaos, if you see the Japanese Twitter, Chaos has been dominating the topping list since I guess half a year ago, and that's really crazy. So I think Busher is finally trying to make a stop to the Chaos deck by having this regular list. Okay, there are two more cards that is restricted in the Chaos flag. The first one is Full Macrystal Dragon Zindo Beta. This card is also a really strong card because you can search your deck for any spells needed. If you need a drawer, you can search for Chaos Gear. If you need to salvage something, you can search for Millennium Chaos. Or if your setup is finally ready, you can search for the Chaos upgrade. Or if you don't have Gear Guard 1000, you can just search the launch the Auto DT. So this one card is also restricted to one. You can use a lot of them. Okay, and the final card restricted is the Chaos strongest defense card, Machining Sacrifice. So the skill is you can put a monster from your field into your drop zone, and then you can call a size 3 or greater monster from your drop zone to the field. Why is this card really strong? It's because first, it's a defense card. You can make your opponent miss target by sending monsters attacked by your opponent to the drop zone, and then you can call something else. And as you know, a lot of Chaos monsters have amazing advantage. For example, like Chaos Daryl Barek, you call him and then check 3 top, add 1 to hand. Then you Machining Sacrifice, you can call Orson Kleins and charge 1, draw 1. I don't want to talk about Chaos anymore. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, Chaos is just really strong. So yeah, it got nerfed quite a lot. The deck is still pretty strong right now, but I think compared to the upcoming sets, it will gradually go down. And finally, we have 3 more cards under this irregular list. They are under the Thunder Emperor's Fang flag. So if you're using this card under the other flag, it's fine, but these 3 cards is one limit under TEF. So the first one is Connect Ninja Tomono Shin. You guys know that this handsome guy over here can help you search for anything you need in the deck. Wait, that sounds kind of wrong. Actually, not anything in the deck. Just the top 3 card of your deck, but it's already making a very huge difference. So yeah, when another monster enters the field, he checks top 3 card, and then you can add 100 Emperor's Fang to your hand. Whatever it is, a monster, a spell, an impact, item, whatever you need. And I guess that's one is restricted to 1, right? Okay, the second card is the defense card for TEF also. It's Loud Voice. So Loud Voice is a very strong card, especially under the TEF flag, because TEF has a lot of advantage. You can draw a lot of cards in your turn, and you even have the cards that if he is discarded, it can return to hand. So yeah, I think Loud Voice is too strong under TEF, so it's also restricted to 1. It kind of forces you to play another defense spell like the Arc Dragon Shield and the other Dragon Shields like Gao used. And the last card is the Fighter's Oath. This card is also really strong. You charge to gauge and gain life equals to the different world on your field. Yeah, Thunder Emperor's Fang usually have like 3 to 5 different worlds on their field, so they can charge 5, heal 5, and that's just crazy. I think it's a right thing to restrict this Fighter's Oath to 1. Okay guys, so that's all of the regular lists. I hope that explains a little bit why they're on this irregular list. So next we'll talk about the rule update. Okay, I'll show you here. Okay, so here I have the detailed rules of future card Buddyfight. So you can check these rules out on the official Buddyfight website. They have it under the rules. So we'll talk about the rule changes which effect from June 2nd, 2018. So the first rule is draw during first turn fighter's stand phase. So the old rules state that the first turn fighter can draw during the very first stand phase. And the new rule, the first turn fighter can also draw during the very first stand phase. So yeah, I don't think we need to explain anything. But a lot of setup decks is finally getting better this new season. For example, like Only Assassin or the Overturn Jackknife deck, because that one extra card you draw can potentially be the key card you need to set up your field first before your opponent can do anything. And that's an awesome thing. As a Jackknife player, I'm pretty happy with this. And let's move on to the second new rule. So, counter limitations during a battle. Old rule, you can only use counter once during each battle. For example, after using Thunder X energy once in a battle, no other counter can be used during that same battle. And the new rule, you can use counter any number of times during each battle. The flow for play timings remains the same. For example, back then, when you attack and then your opponent casts Green Dragon Shield and then you nullify it with, for example, also the Dream I Had to End, the Green Dragon Shield is nullified and then your opponent cannot cast anything else. But now during a battle, if you attack, your opponent casts Green Dragon Shield and then you also the Dream I Had to End, your opponent can still cast something else in response. For example, like he casts another nullifier spell like Blue Dragon Shield, like that is. And then you counter again with also the Dream I Had to End, then he Arc Dragon Shield. Yeah, that can be done now. But one thing we need to focus on is this is only during a battle. You can use counter any number of times during each battle. Only during battle, so not, for example, not on the main phase. Like if I cast Hyper Energy, then the opponent nullify, yeah, then that's it. I cannot counter anything else because the new rule only applies to battles. Okay, I think that's clear enough. Okay, the third rule is actually not something major, but I think it needed to be stated there. Old rule, during an extra turn from effects, if a card with you get another turn is played, the fighter will get another turn. For example, like the Impact Monster Professor Manjo or the Super Old School Grandfather Clock. Yeah, you can get another turn and then get another turn and then get another turn. But the new rules state that during an extra turn from effects, the next turn will become your opponent's turn. So, for example, this turn you play Manjo and then you got another turn. So the next turn will be your turn. But even if you play another Manjo, the next turn will be your opponent's turn because it's the next turn after the turn you gain from effect. You cannot continuously gain turn. Did you get what I said? Yeah? No? Yeah? Yeah. That's the rule. So you cannot gain double extra turn. Only once and then the next turn is your opponent's turn. Then you can get another turn, then your opponent's turn again. Yeah, like that. You cannot do simultaneous. You can't have turn like that. You cannot. Yes. So those are the three rule changes in Buddyfight, and I guess this will have quite a lot of impact on the new season. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you have? Okay, So that's Hyper Potato number 3. On Hyper Potato 4, we'll talk more about the new Buddyfight series, the A series, and I will also do Vanguard content from now on because I'm starting the standard format for Vanguard, and yeah, I think I'll be doing some collaboration with the other Indonesian Vanguard channel and also have some Vanguard content in this channel too. So be sure to look forward to that. And what do you guys think about the new Buddyfight irregular list and the new rules? What do you guys have any idea what you guys wanna try, what you guys wanna implement? For example, you wanna try a fun chaos deck, or how you can type it in the comment section below, or you can send it to our Facebook page. Yes. That's all for Hyper Potato number 3. Hyper Potatoes signing out.